Hey guys, I just made a tune for my track car and it seems to be running a little rough. Yeah, that doesn't quite sound right. And it looks like our timing is a little bit high. Oh, it doesn't like it when I stand in the way. It messes up the Bluetooth connection. Now this is my first chip I've put in this. Before I just had an old Skunk 2 chip. So let's just see if putting that back in will help it idle better. Gold reliable. Chips in. Let's see how it runs now. And I will say the gas in this is old. Well, starting out, we got to check engine light. So I don't know what that's about, but I can already just tell audibly by listening to it that it is running a lot better. So let's take a look at that chip and see what's wrong with it. Yeah, she's running a lot better. Yeah, very interesting. I checked the map, whatnot, and it's definitely a B18C1 map, but for some reason the car does not like running off of it. So I guess we're just going to see what we're going to have to do here. I'm going to turn it on and probably dial back the timing a little bit. The timing might be a little different for the OEM map versus the Skunk 2 chip. There's nothing wrong with the Skunk 2 chip. I just wanted to try running on an OEM map and see how it would do. And obviously it's not running as well, but we'll give it a shot here anyways and work on it some more. Got the custom map back in. Let's see how she runs. Yeah, still not the best, so let's give it some twisting on a distributor here and see if we can help her out a little bit. Well, she's idling where she should be, and looking at the marks, it's pretty much right on the spot. So I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like it's got the right timing on the actual laptop here too. So this is a B18C1, but it does have Type R pistons. So I'm going to change this over to a Type R base map and see if that helps it idle any better. I don't have the AFR sensor hooked up, so I can't see if it's flooding out or it's leaning out or not. And I'm not going to pull a spark plug to look. I'm not that worried about it, but let's get it on a Type R map and see if that helps it idle any better. Alrighty, just got a stock B18CR map in there. Let's just write chip. That's just a P73 map right there. Going on, going on. Right, successful. Yeah, I can already tell it is idling a lot better, but I'm thinking it actually isn't a map issue. I think I had this running on the D16 Z6 map, and that's why. So I'm actually going to go back here again and try and re-upload my normal B18C1 map and see if we can get it to idle as well. Because right here, this idle is holding a lot smoother. And I can already tell too on these CR maps, they have more ignition. And they also rev a heck of a lot higher, and VTEC engages a lot higher. And this is just a GSR, so I don't want to push it too hard. She's a belt bottom end, but you know, I mean, you can't do that to the thing. And it'd be trivial too running this on a CR map because this head doesn't flow like a Type R head. That would be, it just, the air is not there. It's more meant for lower end torque, I'm guessing, because this factory, the VTEC engages on these at around 46.75, I think is what it said, in that area. So I'd much rather have that lower engagement anyways. Man, she is just not a fan of the stock map. Huh. Well, alrighty guys, I'll put this guy back in for now, but when I got time later, I might actually just try and run this off of a different map or see what's going on. I do think it has to do with the higher compression pistons that I installed in this, and it's just struggling to run off of them now. But it ran fine with this chip for years, and all this chip I think is just a raised or lowered VTEC and raised redline, but who knows. OG chip back in, Skunk 2. Runs a lot better. Well, tuning aside, I need to get the car ready for the track. and all my gauges and whatnot need to be redone. So let's solder it up, put her back in, and make it look nice, and actually get some of my interior pieces back in too that are missing. I'm not trying to brag about my soldering because it's terrible, but that's without flux and that's with flux. Use flux, kids. It makes life way easier. Got my gauge cluster ready. I got my wires ready, my signal wires. Now to actually tidy up the power wires that are all running to the box down here. Got it all wired up. Let's see if it works. Yes, it does. Looks like the glow shift gauge is pegging out, but I think once we wire everything up properly, it'll be fine. All right, let's get to soldering. All right. Well, it looks like the camera fits pretty good inside the headrest of a GSR seat. Let's get to it. And you gotta shove it all inside the dash. It doesn't matter, it gets all messy anyways. But at least I have everything loomed and labeled and gauge is grounded. Beautiful. Oil pressure's good. I know this is working. As long as this doesn't lean out to the moon, I know this is working. Sometimes they do that. Awesome. Alright, let's actually wire this gauge now into the ECU so I can properly data log and tune this. Welcome to my workspace. So, right here is our wire for the AFR sensor. All I'm going to do is just peel back the insulation a little bit here. This razor blade, while trying to be careful to not mess up any of the wires underneath. Already got the data log wires spliced in. Usually I'd say if you see anyone ever using one of these, instantly run the other way as fast as you can because they don't know anything. But I just didn't really want to cut wires and solder, and all my stock wire is solid wire and not braided, so it wouldn't turn out nicely. So this just seemed like the more logical solution. But anyways, let's fire the car up, fire up the laptop, and then see if the Bluetooth data logging is sending out the right AFR. Hey guys, so I screwed up. Sorry about the rain and radio static in the background. We got tornadoes in our area at the moment, but you know, wiring up your Honda is more important. But I digress. So we actually have the signal wire here coming from the sensors, and I was actually supposed to wire these up to the wires coming out of the gauge. The same wire harness that you actually give power to the gauge also has output analog signals for positive and negative. I was supposed to wire that up to that harness and not the sensor harness. So then this sent 12 volts to places it shouldn't have been, and long story short, that's how we got this. So I have a new harness and gauge and sensors coming in. Man, it is starting to hail out there. But so yeah, I screwed that up royally. So oh well, you live and you learn. $200 mistake. Like I said, Hondas are more important. Dropping the oil too. That is nice and dark. This thing was my daily for a little while because I had no choice last year, and that's why she's all filthy and dirty. But you know what? It just is what it is. If you're a car guy and you haven't been forced to use your race car as a daily, are you really a car guy? Okay, I got the oil dropped. I like to run Valvoline VR1 in this. I have an extra quarter capacity because I do run a Moroso extended capacity OEM style oil pan. However, I am out of oil. I thought I had 5 quarts of VR1 and I only have 1 quart. And so I'm going to have to run into town and pick it up. It's some expensive stuff, but it's what I like to run in this engine because it's got, you know, the extra dinosaurs and vitamins in it. You guys get that reference. But anyways, I'll get back to you guys once I dispose of this oil in my oil disposal device over there. She drinks it right on up. Looks like a Minecraft cow. Figured I'd check the air filter quick too, and it is pristine, which I'm honestly really surprised. Maybe I replaced this before my last track day last year, but unfortunately this thing saw a lot of gravel driving, so I am amazed at how clean this is. But all right, I'll put that back in. That's good, less money to spend. Here we are a couple hours later. Got my racing oil. I really like this stuff, and it's even got, you know, race car on it, so that's how you know it's legit. But anyways, let's get her in. The price on this stuff went down too. It used to be $50 for 5 quarts. Now it's $37.99 for 5 quarts, so not a bad deal. It is conventional, but that really doesn't matter because, well, I know some stuff prefers conventional anyways, and it won't be in the car forever. I typically run 2-3 track sessions days on this oil before I change it over. I would like to send a diagnostics report out to a lab and see how my bottom end's actually doing. I pulled that plug. I didn't see any shavings on the plug, so I guess she's running pretty good. Liquid gold. I'm actually going to pop the side skirt off on this side too, because as you can tell, she's all dented up from the crash. So just going to whack that with the hammer a couple times and I'll bring her back around. Check the oil now. I'd say that looks good. Got the Civic pulled back in the shop, and it is looking a lot cleaner than it was earlier for like the past 6 months. Thank gosh. Or at least there's a shine in it again. Engine bay's still a little wet, but I got one more thing to put in it from my junkyard U-Pole adventure the other day, and that's these. Oh great. The gasket broke. Oh well. I had to pay $3 for the wife's submission. I had to make sure it was worth it. And maybe it wasn't worth it. Drop in the comments below. Are EK sprayers different than EG? Because these aren't quite fit and perfect, but yeah, screw it. We're going to run them anyways. Now that I think about it, I think my Red Hood has these. Oh yeah, it's because... whatever. It's fine. But there we have it, guys. The EG hatch is getting ready for the track. Still got to put that side skirt on, but I got to bend it back into place first, but that's all right. But she is looking so much better now. I got to clean up the interior a little bit more too. I fixed up all the wiring and whatnot for the gauges. And I also have my block off plate drying with some super glue, but the gauges are in there now. I just got to clean up my mess on the floor. And I'm going to put the Skunk 2 tune back on it because I knew that one worked. Even though it runs better off the Type R one, I feel more comfortable running on something that I know is tried and true. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps me build the channel. I'm going to try and get some footage for you guys when I hit the track. I'm really excited to see how this thing handles. My tires have heat cycles on them. My brakes are almost out, so I can't fully send it. But these Fortunautos, I got the 510s, made handling in this car a world of difference. And I don't even have, you know, the honed ball joints yet. So this thing doesn't even have the correct roll center. But this thing drives like a rocket. And I actually might put my front homemade splitter on too. I have not run it with the splitter yet, so I look forward to that. It's just, this thing is so front heavy, I almost don't want any more traction in the front, because whenever I wipe this out, the rear end's almost just flying around. But oh well, that's racing for you. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it. Please drop a like, comment what you guys want to see next. I'm going to keep doing my thing, but you guys always have some creative ideas, and I really appreciate it. And comment below if you want to see more track content. I'm trying to get a GoPro Hero 11. I would really like to see, get some more videos of that, but unfortunately that's just not in the budget, you know, mortgage life. But I think what I'm going to do, if I have enough time, is try to fabricate a mount to my passenger seat and just run my phone here, because this phone is all I've used for my videos, and I feel like the quality of them are pretty good. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a good one.